Hey there, Wargamers, Justin Paint here, and today, boom, we're going to check out some Battletech. I'd like to welcome you guys back to the channel. If you're new here, please Alpha Strike that like and subscribe button. And if you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for continuing to pop in and help support what I do. That said, today we're going to be checking out the Battletech Battlefield Support Rifle and Command Lances from the most recent Battletech Mercenaries Kickstarter from Catalyst Games Lab. I'm not sure when this is going to go up for general sale at local game stores. Hopefully soon. I don't know. And I know a lot of you guys in the are watching this are probably either missed the Kickstarter or waiting on your product. But in either case, I want to pop this open and show you guys what is in here today, so you have an idea of what you will be getting. If you're a backer that's waiting on your product, or if you're a customer who's wanting to pick one up, you'll have a pretty good idea of what is in here before you buy it or receive it. All right. Next up, we have got the Battletech Rifle and Command Lance box here. So for Battlefield Support, and it looks like we're going to have 2 of each type of thing for our total of 4 variants here, or 4 unique sculpts. And let's take a peek at the box as we always do. And as I mentioned in previous videos, I don't remember what the MSRP is on this, and don't have access to my backer kit immediately to check prices, but I might have to look that up. I'm also not sure when they're going to hit retail. So that said, that's the box. Let's go ahead and pop this open. Got our cards here, nice little hefty stack. Pull them out. Give you guys a peek at the art. From what I have seen, all of the vehicle boxes have the same backer in here. So when I open these boxes and I check them out, and I usually talk about how it'd be cool if this was an insert. If it was, it'd all be the same. So you don't have to get new things printed for each box. But the uniqueness of the artwork is there's just the one. So when you have the box, you've seen it. So there's that. I'll probably talk about it in each one of these because I don't know the order in which these videos will go up. But yeah, it makes sense for why it was that way. But it seems like the first time they've done that, so it was an interesting choice. Though, because they're vehicles, maybe they didn't care as much about the background art there on the boxes because maybe the mechs are the primary and this is the set dressing. I don't know. Let's go ahead and get our cards out to check out though. Okay. A nice little chunk of cards. So what I did when I got these, I got 2 of each one of the vehicle boxes because I wanted lances of everything. So I'll have 4 of each variant. So got 2 boxes, end up with 4 of each. So this is the Battlefield Support cards for Classic. Those rules are found in the Mercenaries box. I have briefly glanced over, but I don't play Classic, so these are less useful for me. That's just the way it is. These cards here are more useful. But I suspect for Classic players who are using the Battlefield Support rules, these will probably be useful so you don't have to print them. And because of how easy the vehicles will be to deploy and to destroy, this is probably faster than the record sheets. And then these are nice as a vanity, but if you're using the MUL, you're just going to print out stuff anyway. These are really nice for just pickup games, real quick learning and stuff like that. So it looks like they gave us 2 of each card. So that way we don't have to go through. Let's do like that. All right, so let's check out the cards first, then we'll look at the units. So first up we have got the Sturmfuhrer, I'm assuming that's German. Heavy tank, coming in at 54 points. This one's usable in the Dark Age and the Ilklan era. TMM 1-6 track, 565 for damage, and this thing has 16 life. Case, ECM, IF2, searchlight, turret, and then he's got IF on the turret as well. So this guy's pretty interesting. He's a lot of points, but he's a tank, no pun intended, big old heavy tank. A lot of life, does a lot of damage. Skill 4, it's not going to be hitting as easily, and if you bumped him to a skill like 3 or 2, points really go up, and then you're competing for slots with your mechs. But could be cool if you're wanting to run mechanized. It is pumping out a lot of life and pretty tanky. Again, no pun intended. With all the HP. Let's check out the other variant. So this one's coming in at 13-point difference, usable from the Succession Wars all the way up to the Ilklan. 1 TMM 6-track 442 for damage. Also had this one has 15 life. So this other one had 16, so 1 point more. EE, IF1, LRM, 111, Searchlight, SRM, turret, and on the turret it's got SRMs as well. So if you're using the special rules for the LRMs and SRMs, that could be cool because you can be using different ammo. So there's that. That's pretty cool. This one coming in a little bit cheaper means that you could probably bump his skill up and can more consistently get a little bit of, or bump his skill down rather, to make it a better number all around. So you might be able to more consistently throw out some of that damage, leverage that, and then probably still come out a little cheaper than this guy because that's a lot of points for that damage. So you're paying quite a bit more for 1 point of life and a little bit more damage, and more long range damage for sure. But again, in Alpha Strike, you're probably going to end up playing on 4x4s a lot anyway. So if you're using straight cards just to try it out, this variant might be the one that's a little bit easier on your points pocketbook, so to speak. Next up, we've got the Hetzer coming in at 19 points. This is the wheeled assault gun. 1 TMM, 8 wheeled, 222 for damage, 6 life, case, EE, flak 222, and search. This is usable in the Ill Clan and the Dark Age era. So for 19 points, annoying little turd that your opponent has to deal with. I don't hate it. I wish I had a little bit more move, but I understand why. It's got similar stats to a Urban Mech, but moves faster, has a higher TMM, and similar HP. So yeah, not a terrible use of points. I would probably, for me, prefer to field a Locust over this for a similar point cost, but this one is got some damage on it, whereas the Locust might be like a 210. This is a 222, so that's kind of nice. See what the other variant is. This one's coming in at 1 point less. Usable in the Succession Wars up through the Ill Clan. This one is TMM 1, 8 wheeled, so it's got the same movement. Damage is 330, 5 life, EE, search, SRM. So it doesn't have the case. It's got 1 less life, but 1 more damage at short and medium. So at 18 points, that's actually not bad. I'd probably take this one. Losing the case is, sucks in the flak, but the flak is just situational. But that 3 damage, 18 points is pretty good. And you just drive around and be annoying. And if they shoot at this, they're not shooting at your big stuff. If they don't shoot at this, you just keep throwing dice at them, which is pretty nice. For the Bulldog here, we got the Plasma Medium Tank. Coming in at 25 points. This one is usable in the Dark Age and Ill Clan era. 1 TMM, 8 tracked, 330 for damage, 9 life, case, FC, search, and turret. Again, the TMM's what gives me pause for concern, but at 25 points for the amount of life it has and the 3 damage is not too bad. This one coming in at 1 point less, 24, usable in Dark Age and Ill Clan. Is the other one that was also that? Yeah, so this variant, they didn't give you one that was usable in all eras. ERLL, medium tank variant, 1 TMM, 8 tracked, 321 for damage, 9 life, case, FC, search, and turret. I personally would probably want to pay the 25 points instead of 24 to get the one with the 3 medium range damage, because most of your combat and Alpha Strike is probably going to be in a 4 or within that range band anyway. So that's me. If you're trying to get something a little bit more long range, you have that. But if you're trying to leverage 24 points that sit in long range for 1 point of damage, you probably could have spent those points more efficiently somewhere else. So this one's the one that I would use if you're going to be grabbing cards right out of the box just to try them out. Next up, and last but not least, we have the Von Lochner, the heavy tank, 36 points, usable in the Civil War through the Ill Clan eras. 1 TMM, 6 track, 760 for damage, is a heavy hitter, and 10 HP, search, and turret. So nothing fancy. It's just a big old tank, and I like that. The damage output that this guy's got is really solid, and its point totals is pretty good. So when I'm comparing this to my baseline of the Mad Dog at the 33 points for 333, this one's got 1 TMM, so 1 less TMM than the Mad Dog would have 4 less move, but it's got double the damage, and it's probably got comparable or maybe a smidge more life from what I remember. Might have like one pip more, 2 pip more, something like that. So not bad. It's a tank, so it's going to be fragile getting shot at, but it's a bunch of damage. So if you move this guy up, park him in some woods, and you just kind of sit there and skirt around to leverage the terrain feature to your advantage, that would help give him survivability and make sense from a fluff perspective to sit on the tree line and shoot mechs as they go by. So let's see what the other variant is. This one is going to be almost 10 points cheaper, and this one's usable in the Succession Wars through the Ill Clan. 1 TMM, 6 track, 331 for damage, 10 life, AC, rear, search, turret. Yeah, so for 10 points less, this brings us back in line kind of with the conversation about my baseline. It's coming in cheaper than the baseline mech that I would want to use as my standard 331 instead of 333 for damage. It's a comparable life to that unit, and coming in about 6 points cheaper. So you are losing survivability in terms of your TMM and your movement relative to that Mad Dog variant. That, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, you should get on the channel and look up baseline or baseline mech, something like that. I've got a video that talks about what I'm comparing this to, and I do it all the time on my channel. So that might help you if you're confused what I'm talking about. TLDR, I'm comparing it to a Mad Dog variant. That is my baseline that I go up and down from in terms of if I think a unit's worth using. Not because I like the Mad Dog, just because the points on that are really good. So this one comes in cheaper than that baseline, has comparable damage to the baseline, a little bit less survivability, equal to or a little bit more HP. So yeah, this one is not bad. Again, use case for this is probably trying to drive up, utilize area terrain if you got it, and pop shot at mechs and stuff as they go by. And if they shoot at these, they're not shooting at other stuff. So I like this one. This one's nice for the damage, and I could see you making a case for it. But if you're shaving points, this one's pretty nice. Yeah, so try them out and let me know what you think. All right, guys, we're going to try and stitch this in as best as possible. I was on to another video when I realized that the cards that are in the box aren't just 2 of each one. It's 2 cards with variants of, to make it easy to explain, variant A, variant B, another card, variant C, variant D, essentially. So you have 2 cards and 4 variants. And I thought that they'd just given us 4 cards, 2 of each. So you would have duplicates. You don't. So we're stitching this in so you guys can see the other cards in the box that I didn't see. So you have the Sturmfuhrer, Heavy Tank, 36 points, usable in the Succession Wars through the Ill Clan, TMM1, 6T, 222 for damage, 15 life, EE, IF2, LRM2. This guy's a beast, a lot of life. So his ease of being hit is there, but he's chunky, doesn't do a lot of damage, but your opponent's going to have to make choices between shooting at this thing and how much they're going to have to invest to take it out versus how much damage potentially to take off the table. So something to consider if you're using it. The Sturmfuhrer Cell, Heavy Tank, 47 points. This one has 16 life, looks like. Usable in the Dark Age and Ill Clan era. 1 TMM, 8T, so a little bit faster than the previous variant. 444 for damage, Case, FC, IF2, Search. A little bit pricey, but super tanky in regards to how much HP it has, so it's probably up there for trying to compete with, I was going to say, Assault Mechs, but he's size 4, so yeah, this is definitely meant to be up there punching with the Assault class mechs in terms of what it's putting on the table HP and damage-wise. We have the Hetzer Wheeled Assault Gun at 15 points, usable in the Succession Wars through the Ill Clan, Team M1, 8-wheeled, 220 for damage, 5 life, AC2, EE, Search. I like this because it's dirt cheap and it throws 2 dice, and if they shoot it, oh no. Just cruise around at medium range if you can, leverage the terrain features to make him a little bit harder to hit, and any shots coming at this aren't coming at something more valuable probably to you, and if they ignore it, he'll just keep throwing dice. So the Hetzer at 15 points is a no-brainer for annoyance. The Cell variant, this one's coming in with Team M2, 10-wheeled, it's a little bit faster than the other guy, better Team M, usable in the Dark Age and Ill Clan era, 330 for damage, 5 life, FC, Search. Not terrible for 22 points. I'm not jazzed about the life point total, but I could see fielding a few of these and being really annoying, and they put out some damage, so I don't hate that. And next up, we've got the Bulldog Medium Tank, 17 points, usable in the Star League up through the Ill Clan, Team M1, 8T, 320 for damage, 6 life, EE, Search, SRM. Again, much like that Hetzer for 17 points, this guy's pretty annoying. Not the hardest thing to dislodge, but it's going to take resources from your opponent to shoot or to invest in taking him off the table anyway, so I don't mind that for 17 points. It's a nice little spam tank. Now we have the Bulldog Medium Tank coming in at almost, was it 12 points more? Yep. This is the chemical variant, usable in the Dark Age and Ill Clan era, 2 TMM, 8T, so it's going up speed and TMM, 320 for damage, 10 life, crit resistance, FC, Search. I don't mind this compared to my baseline, that mech that I like to run. I think it's got comparable or a smidge more on the HP front, similar damage, still got a decent TMM, and you save a few points, so not too bad, plus crit resistance is really solid. And then finally, we have got the Von Lochner Heavy Tank for 30 points. This one's usable in the Star League era through the Ill Clan, Team M1, 6T, 540 for damage. We've got 10 life, slew of abilities down here for its AC and rear, its turret, and so forth. Still not terrible for 30 points, a little easy to hit, but he pumps out some damage, so I don't hate that. And then on the other side, for 8 points more, we have the K85N variant, 38 points, Dark Age, Ill Clan era. My goodness, it's got a lot of HP, 4, 8, 12, 16 pips of life, 1 Team M6T, 330 for damage, Crit resistance, flak, rear, search, turret, SRM. For 38 points, this guy's got a lot of HP. Dear Lord, it's got a lot of HP and crit resistance. So if you got the points to invest, it might be worth giving this guy a shot. So to get into checking out the sculpts here, let's go with the Von Luckner, because I think this was that one. So we got this here. Well, in the order in which I filmed these may not be the order in which they go up. I just got done looking at the Battlefield objectives box with the long time in it and the mobile HQ. I like these because I feel like the tanks, while they're similar size, these the details are more crisp on this. The treads are bigger, so like I feel like the long tom might have been shrunk down to fit because it's a big giant artillery and its cannon is, I think, smaller than this thing or comparable. But the tread details on this just look better. Right here we got a little jankiness. I wonder if they both have that in the same spot. They do. They do. Barrel looks nice. Details look reasonably crisp for what this is. This is not too bad. This is muddled out. I don't like that. The LRM or SRM rack. I wonder if they're both that way. This one's a little bit better, but not much. But at least I can see the pips. This one gets really watered down. So that's going to be some QC and consistency issues. The reason that I don't that bothers me is because like you would probably black this out or silver it out and drop a wash in it, and you want it to be able to get down in the recesses. And if it's too soft, it just kind of pools, and then you lose the LRM dots, the holes. So that's a little nuisance or a little annoying. But otherwise, I think the tank looks pretty good. I'm glad I got basically 2 boxes of this 4. This does move, and it looks like, can I pop that off? Yeah. Okay, so it's got a little ball socket. So that wasn't terrible to get popped off there. So you could pop that off for painting. Do this. Your mileage may vary when you do that, so be careful. Some of that stuff you could break the peg possibly. But that was just me using a little bit of finger forcing there to get it up. You might be able to pop it up with a tool or something a bit more uniformly. So comparing to the other one, this one, let's just see if there's from model to model any other inconsistencies. Texture right here on this one looks a little weird relative to that one. Yeah, I mean, it looks pretty consistent from model to model though. So I like that. Von Luckner is cool. We got the Bulldog over here. Give a peek-see at that one. The little tips there are definitely legible. Details look crisp. Panel lines. So this is going to take dry like this. The top of this one's really solid. I like the amount of panel lining or plates it's got. That's going to take a wash and a dry brush really, really well. Whoops. See, I was able to just work that right off. Really like this detail here for just reasons. I think that little grading looks really cool. It's going to take a wash nicely. Put that back on. Treads look, Again, you're not going to see some of these, but just giving you guys a kind of look. It gets soft right in here. You could see some of that details getting lost. That one's good. The little spot here needs to be cleaned up a little. All in all, mold lines aren't terrible relative to some of the mechs, so I like that. Let's take a peek at the other one and just see how it looks relative. Yeah, so right in here you can see where this is where the injection was coming in, and it's got some striation that's not great. Yeah, it just is what it is on that. But yeah, I mean, aside from a few of the issues on it, it's still a good. Pretty pleased with that. Let's check out the Weird Hetza. Here we go. This is pretty common here, but that's going to have to be filled because it's actually like not just shave off. That's actually like a dimple in there. I like that we're getting some texture on the tires. That's kind of cool. The mold line there. Panel lines look reasonably crisp, so you should be able to get in there, get a nice wash, dry brush on them. These are a little soft, but they don't look quite as defined as those, but could just be the orientation that the mold had this guy sitting in for injection. Yeah, so I'm not terribly, I'm fumbling words. This is not terribly bad. I like it. Again, I wish that I had all the prices of these written down next to me so I could reference. I don't. but I'm pretty pleased with the vehicles so far. I think for the value, these are pretty good. They're definitely priced, I feel, to compete with 3D prints, so this is not terrible. Last up, let's give a shot at checking out the Sturmfuhrer. So let's pop that guy around. So I guess these are supposed to be like missile hatches that open. And I guess they alternate, so going down. It's a little softer here because I think there's a mold line that's crossing the top there. That's what it looks like. Which cleaning that up means you might end up kind of mangling the little hatch, that little square thing that goes around. Back here looks good, the exhaust area. And does this have like missiles that pop out here and shoot too? They look like the same kind of housings that just SRMs, maybe LRMs, maybe. Which it does have SRMs and LRMs, so maybe that's SRMs and maybe that's launching LRMs over the top. That's funny if that's what it's doing. I'm sure someone in the comments who's more familiar with Classic is probably like, yeah, of course, dummy, that's what it does. This is my first time seeing this unit. I've seen the Hetzer and the Bulldog before on MUL. I've never had any experience with the Von Luckner or the Sturmfuhrer. The details on the sides here seem reasonable. I kind of wish that there was a little bit more depth right in here for the details, because it looks a little flat, and maybe that's just a small thing. Once you put your color down and wash that, that's going to be fine probably. Especially if you do like silver, black wash, dry brush, all that black will be down the recesses, which will make this or give it more that definition and depth. Let's take a look at the other one and see how we're feeling, if there's anything obvious. So this one, not as bad, but if you look at the front here and this one, you can kind of see my skin through that a little bit. This one dips in and there's a chunk missing. This one made it through fine. This one probably should have failed QC. Right in here, if I can get the camera focus, it dips down and there's a chunk of the model that's gone. So there's no fixing that easily. You would probably need to putty that. I will probably just shave that completely flush and then try and shave this to match, so I'm not sitting here puttying these plastic models. For the vehicles, my effort for painting them is probably going to be get them prepped reasonably, get them primed reasonably, airbrushed, dry brushed reasonably, and then do the minimum to get them on the table. I'm probably not going to sit here and paint these to the same detail level that I do my mechs, because these are fodder for the table. I'm probably also going to give them a generic paint scheme, so I can use them across a variety of forces, so I don't feel the pressure to have a painted exclusive tank for each force. So get some kind of common paint scheme, olive drab or something, which I think is probably going to be common for a lot of people. If it's something specific for a force I want, it's probably a specific model that they have and not just the generics. So that's not the end of the world for me, but that is, when you're buying a premium product here, probably should not have passed QC. That said, again, I don't remember what the value is on this for purchasing, but we got a bunch of cards, which is cool. If you play Classic, you get these, which is cool. If you play Alpha Strike, you get these. So out of the box, you have something to use. You can expand that with the Master Unit list. And yeah, I think, again, I wish I had the stupid prices, but your host here was unprepared. But I do like this. I'm not disappointed with it. I got 2 of them, so I'll have 4 of each one of these. So I have a lance of any one of the vehicles from this Kickstarter, except for the objectives box. I did not duplicate that. These are real easy because it was just buy 2 or 1 extra one and you got doubled. So I like it. I think if you're trying to expand your forces for Alpha Strike, this is good. If you play Classic, the Battlefield support is probably a nice addition for you, especially because not using the stat sheets, the pips, the bubbles for vehicles means you can play your games faster and still get a little bit of flavor from these, but they don't bog the game down. Everyone I've talked to who plays Classic and has used vehicles said that they're like very, very stout in terms of how many pips they have that need to shoot at them, and they can slow down the game. So I think this is a pretty good middle ground to introduce them to your games of Classic and let you play with them and have some variety without slowing the game down too much. So If you're in the market, you've seen these, and you can determine if picking up some vehicles is going to be good for your games. And there you have it, folks. That is a first look at the Rifle and Command Lances, the Battlefield support box from their most recent Kickstarter. If you found this useful or helpful in some way, or anything at all, please sound off in the comments below. Let me know your thoughts, critiques, concerns about this box. And if you are someone who's still waiting on your Kickstarter, please be patient. I really hope that you get your stuff soon. I have no control over that. Can't make excuses for CGL, but I know that I got my product and I was really excited, and I really would like you to have yours too. Everyone's getting excited about Battletech is helpful for Battletech, so hopefully you get your stuff soon as well. And if you've already got your products, awesome too. For both of you, both categories, if you have any thoughts about this product, the Kickstarter, anything at all, sound off in the comments below. Let's get a conversation going. That said, though, folks, that's all I've got for you today. If you want to help support the channel, check the description down below. All the relevant links for helping keep the channel fueled and going can be found there, and your continued support is awesome, and I really do appreciate it. That said, it's time for me to go. As always, keep painting your models, keep rolling your dice, and I will catch you guys next time. If you made it this far, you're probably a viewer that already hits that like button when you see a video come up. You're probably already a subscriber, and you probably jump into the comments down below to help support the channel, to help support that algorithm. But if you're looking for some other ways to help support the channel too, make sure you check the description down below. Maybe you want to pick up some paints from Monument Hobbies. That's my paint of choice. The Pro Acrylic line is chef's kiss, good stuff. Maybe you want to check out some of the offerings from Death Designs, where I work in my day job. We got plenty of 3D printed products, as well as MDF terrain, some of the stuff that I have designed myself and we play with here on the channel. And if you're looking to bolster your Battletech ranks, miniatures, and offerings, make sure you check out Bobby from Fortress Miniatures and Games. He's one of the main supporters of the channel as well, and supporting any of these companies helps support what I do and helps to ensure that I can continue to bring content to all of you. If you want to become a super supporter, I highly recommend you guys check out the Patreon. You guys give that extra little edge to help push more content out, and I really do appreciate that. And my ultimate goal on the channel is to continue to be able to not only put out the content we have now, but to get to a point where you can put out more content later, whether that be battle reports or painting tutorials or just more rambles, anything at all. I'd like to be doing more content for you. This is something that I enjoy. I like being able to cast a light into the darkness to bring a little bit of hobby positivity to all of you and make you feel good, and also enjoy playing games myself. As we do the final sign off here, though, I do want to go ahead and switch on over and do the scroll of awesome to showcase all the Patreon supporters, the super supporters of the channel, to give them some recognition for helping support what I do. Thank you guys so much, and I will catch you guys next time.